Hey, this is Bjorn Rebney, and you are listening to Glove Up or Shut Up. Stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Hello everybody from Glove Up or Shut Up. I'm here right now with Bjorn Rebney, CEO of Bellator. And first of all, Bjorn, congratulations on another spectacular card tonight at Memorial Hall in Kansas City.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun. It was a great show. Ben looked good against a very, very tough guy in Hieron. Eric Prindle obviously looked dramatically explosive against Ron Sparks. One of those guys was going to go out on their sword. And then Thiago Santos, man, he looked as good as we thought he could be against a very tough heavyweight Neil Grove. Took him down with a spectacular shot and then choked him out. So, boy, in terms of big TV fights, 3 back-to-back really good fights and a back-and-forth battle, close fight for the welterweight world title.
The heavyweight division in Bellator is really coming on strong ever since I started going to Bellator shows. They always seem to be explosive fights. I remember the Cole Conrad fight ending in the first round as well. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think it's just the scouting, or do you think it's the hunger of the fighters, or both?
I think Sam Kaplan, our VP of Talent Development, is doing a really good job with the heavyweights. I was, really happy with the allotment of heavyweights that came into this tournament. Guys that even got eliminated early, like Blagoy Ivanov, who is a spectacular fighter. You'll see back here Sparks, who's got one-punch knockout power with both hands. You'll see him back quick. And Prindle and Thiago, and just really, really talented guys. So I'm pretty excited about where our heavyweight division is going. You never can go wrong with a heavyweight division when you've got guys, big guys, who've got to cut to 265, who are in shape and look to knock people out. And that's what we've got. So it's made for some really great fights and great TV. And
it's a great time for them to be making great fights on TV, because we just heard in this past week that Viacom bought a big share of Bellator, and in 2013 we're going to be seeing live Bellator action on Spike TV. So give us your quick thoughts about that deal.
Just very, very, very happy. Obviously, it's something we've been working on for a long time. Viacom is one of the leading entertainment companies on the face of the earth. I mean, they reach 600 million consumers around the world. They've got their content on MTV and Spike and Comedy Central and Nickelodeon and Paramount Pictures that content's available in basically every country around the world. They're just a powerhouse, and I said it on the broadcast tonight. It's great for Bellator, and it will mean great things for the Bellator brand, and it will be very explosive and productive for our fighters. But it's more important to mixed martial arts as a whole. It's more important to guys like you and I who are fans of this game. And you've got a company that is as powerful and is internationally powerful as Viacom, who's made a long-term commitment, an ownership stake in a mixed martial arts company. So that's what excites me. I've been a fan of this game for a long time, and now you've got a huge entertainment conglomerate who's really dedicated and focused on just taking this sport to the next level. And I just, as a fan of MMA, as a guy who used to watch all the old Pride shows from years ago and the UFC stuff back when Royce was fighting in a gi, I think it's an amazingly positive step for our sport, and I couldn't be happier about it.
And you mentioned Viacom being such a big network and having so many different channels and so many different programs. It opens up cross-promotional opportunities, and I'm given to understand one of them is that you made an appearance on Impact Wrestling.
Yeah. One of the coolest nights that I have had in the last month was making an appearance on Impact Wrestling, sitting between Mike and Taz, and just having a blast. I got to call a fight. And it was just, it was fun. I'll tell you what was really cool about it was it wasn't our show, so I could just kind of relax, untuck my shirt, have a Diet Coke, talk to the guys, watch the matches. It was a blast and a half, and it's a great show. If you've never been to an Impact event, you should go. It's a lot of fun. It's a spectacular production, and it's just a blast. And I had a good time. I got invited to come in and had a really good time.
Well, I have to ask the leading follow-up question that presents me. There's a hardcore segment of MMA fans who just say, boo pro wrestling. They think, don't mix pro wrestling and mixed martial arts, but clearly that's not how you feel about it.
No, they're two totally different sports. And then occasionally we get the crossover. There's no denying that Brock Lesnar was a spectacular wrestler, and there's no denying that Brock Lesnar is a spectacularly talented heavyweight fighter. Our heavyweight champ, Cole Conrad, trains with Brock on a day in and day out basis.
And Kurt Angle, of course.
Kurt Angle, of course, was an Olympic gold medalist, and one of the best wrestlers ever to step into, that that faction of wrestling's dynamic and entertainment. So, I mean, you've got a lot of guys who are really spectacular athletes participating in those events, and some of them have made the crossover to MMA, one of whom we all know real well has done exceptionally well. So I just, I think there's more than enough room for spectacularly exciting mixed martial arts events like we saw tonight, and for great wrestling events like the one I went to at Impact. And I think it's okay to like both of them and enjoy going to both of them.
Very good. And in closing, let's get your thoughts about Bellator 57 coming up. Tell the fans listening what they can expect from that card.
Wow, 57 will be electrifying. I mean, you got Alexander Slamenko fighting Vitor Viana, and Viana looked unbelievable in his win over Baker. And of course, Slamenko in that Rogers back and forth was one of the best middleweight fights I've seen in the last year. And then, God, Saunders looks unbelievable. His rubber guard kind of set the bar in terms of, and it's funny because the knock on Saunders was always, well, you saw the Fitch fight, and Saunders is good standing, and his clinch game is great, but he looked unbelievable on the ground. And of course, Lima with that one-punch knockout of Lozano, he looked unreal. He looked every bit the best welterweight prospect in the world. So, two incredible fights with $100,000 on the line and a shot at our title. It just, that'll be a pretty special event.
It should be indeed. And I just want to thank you very much for taking the time tonight.